Shelby, and I am 16 weeks pregnant, almost 17. I'll be 17 weeks tomorrow. I'm going to be kind of going over my pregnancy story, how I found out I was pregnant, and then also just some of the first signs of me being pregnant, and then my first trimester as a whole, because I'm in my second trimester now. So I'm going to do a recap of my first trimester and my pregnancy story and how I found out. So just keep on watching if you want to know. So one of the first things that I noticed was my sense of smell, which sounds really cliche, but that's the case. My husband and I had gone to buy a truck, and the dealership said that somebody had smoked in it previously, which we were kind of worried about because my husband and I don't smoke. So when we got in the truck, it was fine for the most part. You could tell that it kind of smelled a little bit weird, but nothing to be worried about. And then I was driving it for the next couple weeks, and then about 2 weeks after we got it, I opened the door, and this huge, like, puff of smoke came at me as if somebody had just been smoking a cigarette 5 minutes earlier, or 5 seconds earlier, and it was so strong, and it hadn't been that way at all before, so I was kind of like, that's a little weird, but I mostly thought that it was just that I hadn't noticed it as much before, and now I was starting to notice it, or maybe it was getting worse, or I don't know what I thought, but it was definitely really strong and noticeable. And I even came home and made my husband Roman get in the car to see if he had the same reaction, and he did not. He said he didn't smell anything at all. So that was kind of my first clue, but I wasn't exactly expecting to be pregnant, so I didn't think too much about it, but that was definitely my first tip. Other than that, there wasn't too much. I was definitely hungrier than normal and more tired, but I didn't want to think too much about symptoms, because I've definitely been known to make up symptoms when I thought I was pregnant before that just weren't there. So I didn't want to do that and get my hopes up thinking I was pregnant when I wasn't. So I tried not to read too much into it, but the smell thing was definitely one. I decided to start taking some pregnancy tests early because I am just weird like that. I've probably taken well over 100 pregnancy tests since I got married 2 years ago. But I decided to start taking pregnancy tests just to be sure and just to see. I started at 8 DPO, which I know is really early and you can't always see anything. Most people don't. But being addicted to YouTube and seeing how many other women had started, testing at 8 DPO or 7 or 9, and they could see a faint line, I thought, well, maybe I will be able to see one. I didn't. I tested 8, 9, 10, and 11, I think, and maybe even 12. I think it was 8 through 11 that I tested DPO, days past ovulation, and there was nothing. On 11 DPO, I thought that there was like the tiniest little nothing of a line, and then and then on 12 DPO I did test again, and it was nothing. So then I was sure that I was not pregnant. I could leave it alone, just forget about it, not pregnant, whatever. I was supposed to start on a Friday, and I started cramping a little bit, and so I thought, oh, okay, well, my period's coming, like, normal. And I just kept cramping really lightly for the next, 3 days, and my period never came. I normally have really strong cramps, so these were a little bit different in that they were lighter, and they would only last for about 5 minutes, and then they'd go away. Whereas normally my cramps would, the second I feel a cramp at all, I start taking medicine because they just get worse and worse and worse, and to where I'm bedridden and crying. But that didn't happen, so that was a little bit weird. So I think I was 2 days late when I decided to take another one, and I just had one of the cheapy little 99-cent tests from Walmart left over. So we had gone hunting, and I kept having cramps, just those really light cramps, and so I thought, well, you know, I don't want to be taking a bunch of ibuprofen when I might be. I was 99% sure that I was not pregnant, but just in case, I didn't want to have a glass of wine or take a bunch of ibuprofen because of my cramps when you're not supposed to. So I decided to just take that last test when I got back to the house. And I actually watched the line go across when, you know, you're supposed to leave it and set it down and then come back 5 minutes later or whatever. I watched it go across because I was sure that there was not going to be anything. And, you know, at first there wasn't really very much, and it only took about 60 seconds, and then there was the line, and it just kept getting darker and darker and darker. And I was pretty shocked because I had already been testing, so I thought I was not pregnant. I was sure that I was not pregnant. So I called my husband upstairs and I said, I think I'm pregnant. And he was like, no, you're not. Let me see. And I showed him the test, and I will insert a little clip of what it looked like here somewhere. So then we ran down to Walmart, and we live with my in-laws right now. So we didn't say anything. We just said, we're gonna go get some dinner. We'll be right back. And we went to Walmart and got one of the first response tests that tells you yes or no. And I came home and took it right then, and it said yes. So I was pretty surprised, happily surprised, but I was confused because I had already been testing and was really, really sure that it was a no, which would have been fine too, but so it was kind of a surprise, especially since we had moved into my in-laws' guest bedroom that same day and gone hunting, and it had been a really busy weekend, and then I found out I was pregnant. Still a good surprise, and we're really excited. So that's kind of the story about how I found out. I found out 2 days after I was supposed to start my period, and I'm 16 weeks now. So my first trimester is done. I've definitely noticed a lot of changes in my body. New things happen to my body every 5 minutes, and they're completely unpredictable, and you just never know what's gonna happen. And it's never the same as it was 5 minutes ago, but that's okay. The first thing that started changing was my boobs, for sure, TMI, but they doubled in size, and they started hurting really, really bad. They're very sore, really sore. That was probably the first thing that started to change. And I also obviously was getting a little bit more tired. The first trimester, they say, is when you're really, really tired, obviously, because your body's trying to make the placenta, and those first few weeks are crucial to development, so your body's working overtime. So of course the first few weeks I was really tired. That didn't seem to last too long. My tiredness is pretty much gone now, and I would say that it went for probably like halfway through my first trimester. I was tired, and then it went away pretty much, and now I'm fine. But I'm also really, really, really hungry all the time, and that just grows and grows and grows, and that was probably the second thing I started to notice pretty early on, was how hungry I am and was. I would have to eat like every 2 hours, and not a snack. I mean, I would need like a full meal every 2 hours. Sometimes I would have to get up in the middle of the night to eat, which is, you know, crazy for me. I eat probably double the amount of a normal person, which also makes sense because of, you know, you're growing a human. So that's a lot of work for your body. I pretty much did not have any morning sickness. If I was really hungry when I first woke up and didn't eat right away, then I might get a little bit nauseous until I ate something, but then I would be fine. Car rides would give me a lot of car sickness on an empty stomach. If I was full and we were driving somewhere, then it was okay, but if I was even a little bit hungry and we had to go anywhere, I would get really car sick, which I'm kind of prone to anyway, but it was worse for sure in the first few weeks. But other than that, no, I haven't thrown up once or been even close. I know that there's going to be a lot of women out there that are going to be jealous, and I'm sorry, but I did not have anything. My mom also did not have any morning sickness at all with me. I don't know if that matters or if that affects how you're going to be with, you know, if your mom didn't have morning sickness with you, will you have it or whatever. But I did not have any. I haven't noticed that I've been extra emotional. I have noticed that I am a little bit more irritable than normal. Normally I'm not very emotional, or I don't fly off the handle with things, but I have noticed that I've been a little bit more irritable and had some aggression issues, possibly. Just, I don't have any patience for anything. Like bad drivers, or, you know, if they get my order wrong at Taco Bell, I want to murder. So I don't know if that's part of it, probably. But not a lot of like crying at fridge commercials or anything like that. But definitely irritability. I haven't had any weird cravings like pickles and ice cream, but I do have cravings. I crave something new like every week, but it'll be like wonton soup, or, you know, fried chicken, or salad maybe, or whatever. I do have a lot of cravings, and they are very, very strong. I've never experienced anything like pregnancy cravings. You know, you might crave something sweet every once in a while, or soda, or whatever it is, but pregnancy cravings are no joke. It's like, for me at least, if I don't get this thing that I'm craving, I'm going to die. It is really weird. And then as soon as I eat that thing, it goes away. And it's just totally fine, and I don't think about it again. I don't have recurring cravings, really. It's really like something new every week, which is weird. But I do have cravings for sure. My hair is growing twice as fast. If I shave my legs in the shower, when I set a foot on the ground, it's already back. So that's kind of annoying, but I don't know, I'm not sure what that's about, but I have noticed that my hair and like everywhere else has been growing extra fast. I'm not sure why, but that's something I've noticed as well. I also have a lot of gas. I've been burping a lot. I have a lot of heartburn, which apparently means that the baby's gonna have a lot of hair. I guess if you have really bad heartburn, that means that it's growing hair. Because of the hair, it's causing you to have heartburn. I'm not sure if that's true or not. We'll see. But I do burping a lot, which is really fun for my husband. The last like 3 weeks, I've had really bad back pain, which I think is just going to continue as the baby grows. I definitely have a bump. The baby popped out at like 9 weeks. It's already really out there, so I assume that my back is just going to get tighter and tighter. But that's another thing. So I've had pretty much an easy pregnancy so far. Nothing too crazy, but those are the main points of my first trimester and my pregnancy story. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I will be back with another video soon. Thanks.